So it's been a while since I've made one of these videos, and there's been a lot going on, so I thought I would take a little bit of time today and sit down and really do one, and catch up on some of the theme messages that have been coming through. And as I always do, I kind of sit down and look at what's there, and there always is some overlap or theme. There's no coincidence in any of the way that this unfolds. So the theme of overlap seems to be in defending. So I thought we would look at that today. The overall questions are about defending oneself or defending another. And one of the biggest themes that comes through in this is beautiful people who reach out to me after seeing my videos and seeing the comments on the videos and wanting to defend me. And you'll even see it if you go look at some of the comments. There'll be people going back and forth. And they could not do that any differently. It's the way that it is. There's no right or wrong in this. And for me, there's no need to jump in either, because there is nothing here that needs to be defended. None of this has ever been mine. There is no separation in this. The story of Kelly is not unique or owned or controlled. It's just arising in thisness. There are no two NDEs here. There are no two people who have died. There are no two stories. Yet linearly, it appears that way. What's beautiful in the act of defending is it's an immediate realization that there's a belief that I'm separate going on. And ultimately that there's a me that needs to defend another, or the self. What has ever needed to be defended? Who has ever needed to be defended but a thought? Defending is interesting. It arises in and out of this. And yet there's no one doing it. Yet when we appear to be caught in the act of defending or defensiveness, we become very right. We see all the reasons why we're right about the stance that we're taking. The beautiful thing about being right is in our rightness is righteousness, right? We're immediately proving our point. We'll show them. They'll see our way. And in that, we see wrongness in another. We're convinced of our stance, and so strongly we stand in that stance that we miss the whole humor of the fact that none of this is true. Who are we defending, and what are we defending that's separate from an apparent other, except a thought? This has come up in so many experiences lately, and just life will keep bringing us the opportunity to see this for ourselves. We know that we're caught in a story of defending when ultimately we don't feel good. Life will bring us this gentle reminder that we're in the dream. Something doesn't feel good. We're angry, we're resistant, we're fighting, we're yelling, we're avoiding. It's just an alarm clock saying, wake up, you're in the dream. And it couldn't be any other way. It just couldn't. There's been a lot of questions about language too, and defending language that's been used in videos or in conversations about this. And so I'm going to pull up, I do a lot of my daily writings on Facebook. So I know there's some of you on YouTube that aren't on Facebook. And that is where I have the ease of doing more daily writing. So for those of you who don't follow on Facebook, I'm going to read what has already been written about this. So this question that has arisen a few times here and on YouTube: if there is no one and nothing separate, what is a soul? And how could you have a soul map if there is nothing separate? Like anything spoken about, language complicates things. Words are but symbols of symbols. They are thus twice removed from reality and of course can cause great confusion if overthought. Language is very linear, and every word seems to initiate the experiencer's apparent perception of it. In the story of Kelly, I seem to have a preference of not caring what others think about what I say, sharing without overthinking, as there is no desire to convince anyone of anything said or unsaid. The apparent experiencer will interpret it how they interpret it, and that will be perfect. Life is doing this, not me. So whatever is arising is as intended to be. No need to censor or monitor or edit or protect or defend any of it. It just is. Life, lifing. So as far as the soul is concerned, there is no individual separate soul. There never has been. It's not even yours to nurture. Yet I love the beauty of the name Nurture Your Soul, as much as I love the beauty of anything else in life. This does not mean that there is any believing in any of it as separate, special, or unique. Additionally, the soul map or soul agreements simply allude to the understanding that whatever is happening due to God's will, not the will of an I. And as there has never been an I separate from God, all experiences are part of thisness, which the experience of Kelly has never been separate from. I am not the doer of it, nor the controller of it. I appear to be the byproduct of it in the illusion of a self, seeming to experience. And even referring to this as God can cause some belief in separation, that there is a God and a me, which also has never been the case. See how easily language can send one down the eternal rabbit hole, chasing this and that, when all simply is. Now, if you dare, take this a step further and look at the belief that the I dies and their soul goes somewhere. This simply has never been possible. The soul has never belonged to anyone, nor been separate from anything. It has never needed to do anything, learn anything, experience anything other than this, which it has always been. Nameless, boundless energy. This is beautifully and yet so elusively and mystically simple. I hope that is helpful and more clear. So, language is another opportunity to create a doctrine or a philosophy or a belief. It's an opportunity to grab onto something and make it mine, which is what the mind is always attempting to do. It's how religion was formed. It was formed on a base of beliefs. I like this one, that one, and that one. I put it in my cart and I call it religion. Yet none of it has ever belonged to anyone or been separate from anyone. So I just wanted to do that video and catch up and say hi and let you all know that things are well here. It's a very busy time, and I send you a tremendous amount of love. I do read your messages. I don't always get opportunities to respond to all of them, and even that's perfect, and I know that. There's no thing here that says that I must or should respond to everything. Life is lifing perfectly and beautifully in the way that it is. So with that, much, much love to all of you. Look at defending. Look at what's defending, what's defensive. Notice it. Notice it happening. Notice it arising. Notice when we go to defend our children, or we go to defend our spouse, or we go to defend ourselves. What needs to be defended? Defending says something could be done wrong, and that's just not possible. Life is lifing. You are life. It's perfect. Until next time, much love.